सुस्वागतम। ज्ञान योग, राजयोग, भक्ति योग, कर्म योग. Jnana yoga is the path of intellect. Bhakti yoga is the path of emotions. Karma yoga is the path of action. Raj yoga is the path of willpower. Earlier, we understood that Raj yoga is the name given to the yoga of Patanjali, Patanjali yoga. In 196 sutras, the great Patanjali Maharshi knit all the principles and practices of Yoga Shastra. In tradition, it is known as one of the Shad Darshanas, 6 systems of philosophy. The great contribution of Patanjali is the Ashtanga Yoga. The goal of Raja Yoga, or the Patanjali Yoga, beautifully defined by Patanjali, is to gain mastery over the mind. Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga, as you have heard. This mastery has 2 components. One is the capacity to get the power of concentration. Another is the capacity to remain calm and quiet and peaceful, self-satisfied, with a wonderful bliss inside by ourselves. So these are the 2 components of mastery. And we saw that we can achieve this goal by indirect control over the mind, called Bahiranga Yoga, or direct control over the mind, called Antaranga Yoga. Bahiranga Yoga starts off with Yama and Niyama, the foundations, a set of do's and don'ts. Use the body to gain control over the mind, because mind and body are connected. When the mind is haphazard, the mind is totally uncontrolled, the body also goes uncontrolled. When there is a lot of tension and imbalances in the mind, that shows up as autonomic imbalances in the body, makes your body very stiff and tight and grim. So there is an innate connection between the mind and the body. Therefore, in Yogasanas, we use the body to gain control and mastery over the mind by relaxation of the body. Relaxation of each and every group of muscles. We also saw that asanas are not physical exercises. They are not workouts. The key essence is silencing of the mind and tuning the mind to that infinite expanse. Prayatna Shaithilya Aranta Samapatti, 2 essence. Use the breathing to gain control and mastery over the mind. It's called pranayama. Then use the senses to gain control and mastery over mind. It's called pratyahara. These are the 5 indirect ways to control over the mind. Then how to control the mind directly? Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. The random mind, called the chanchalata, has to be properly controlled to get the stage of what we call concentration, ekagrata. That's all what we are doing in our education system. But Patanjali takes us to the next step, dharana. Dharana is fixing the mind on a single thought. Complete state of focus. Focusing the mind on a single thought is dharana. Normally, dharana is full of effort. So you cannot perform dharana for a long time. You get steady. Therefore, you have to go to the next step called dhyana. Dhyana is effortless dharana. Single thought but done effortlessly. Meditation therefore is not concentration. Meditation is opposite of concentration. In concentration you speed up the mind, whereas in dhyana you slow down the mind. Number of thoughts per minute should be increased in concentration if you want to be more and more full of concentration. Whereas in dhyana, the number of thoughts per minute should reduce to a single thought. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. Effortlessly stay in that single thought. That is dhyana. So in all our transactions, including meditation, there is the trifold process of the seer, seeing, and the process of seeing. When the three things merge together, then it's called samadhi. Samadhi is absorption, or samadhi is a process of becoming one with the thought, one with the object. That's what we saw. Dhyana consists of these 5 aspects: single thought, effortlessness, slowness, wakefulness, expansiveness. When these features are found, we call it as dhyana meditation. Japa is a very effective technique to deal with dhyana. But then, Patanjali says that's not the end. From dharana and dhyana, I have to go to the phase of samadhi, a jump with it. When the seer, seer and the process of seeing merge together, it is called samadhi. You become one with the object of meditation. That's called samadhi, absorption, you can say. Tadeva arthamatra nirphasa swarupa shunyamiva samadhi. In samadhi, as if you are lost unto yourself, you become one with the thought. The seer is lost from the scene. You become one with the scene. Just as there is a jump in the physical world, when energy is absorbed by the electrons, it jumps from one orbit to the higher orbit. In the same way here, the mind jumps from one level to the next level of the mind, to a higher level of mind, subtler level of mind. This is what is called as samadhi. And what features this samadhi? Tremendous amount of bliss and the feeling of expansion, this feeling of lightness and high level of creativity starts coming up, and there is an innate power that blossoms. This unparalleled bliss of samadhi is the one for which all great yogis hamper. The samadhi, many people think is the end. Yes, it is the end of Ashtanga Yoga, but not the end of the whole yoga. In fact, according to Patanjali, samadhi is the beginning. Unless you have a glimpse of the samadhi at least, you have not really entered into yoga. Well, how to achieve this dimension? There are many hurdles that come out. And Arjuna rightly asks, "Oh Krishna, you are talking about big things like samadhi and others. Where am I? My mind is full of chanchalata." Arjuna uvacha chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadhi balavadrudham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. My mind is chala, chanchala, random mind, jumping from one to another. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramati balavad drudham. Even with a great force, it becomes very difficult to control it. And it appears to me it is impossible. Tasya nigraham vayoriva sudushkaram manye. You can control your wind, but you cannot control the mind. Mind is so uncontrolled. So that is the hurdle that comes up, chanchala. When you are sitting for meditation, mind jumps over and it starts thinking everything in the world. Mind is so random It's impossible to control it, says Arjuna. Then what does Krishna say? Shri Bhagavan Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Tas Abhyasena Tu Kaunteya Vairagyena Cha Gruhyate. It's a samshaya. A great warrior, the bravest among the bravest. What you say is absolutely correct. Asamshaya, there is no doubt about what you have said. What you have said? Manaha durnigraham. Chalam. Chalam manaha durnigraham. That means the mind is continuously wavering and jumping from one to another. Therefore, it is very difficult to control it. What you said is absolutely right. But don't get disheartened. No? You must know how to control the mind. There is a big science behind it. What is that big science? What is that rahasya? What is that secret? By knowing which you will be able to control and gain mastery over the mind. Twofold process. One is abhyasa, another is vairagya. Abhyasa means go on practicing. No? Regular practice. Come in the same place, sit in the same time, and go on sitting and doing the meditation continuously, day after day, weeks after week, months after months, go on doing that again and again. You know. Then the mind will accept and then start doing. Why do you insist you have to come from Maitri Milan and sit here and do the things every day? Because only through the abhyasa. What is abhyasa? Patanjali says, Tatra sthitau yatnaha abhyasaha. To perform things again and again in the same place, same time, same fashion is called abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. So practice is very, very important in yoga. Then the second aspect is vairagya. What is vairagya? Vigataha ragaha yasmin tasya bhavaha vairagyam. Said. Raga means attraction. No? Our senses are always rushing towards their objects of enjoyment. No? That is the raga, the attachment. And that raga of the senses towards their sense object should be reduced and brought to almost a null. Vigataha raga. In which that raga, attachment, is reduced, then he will be able to do that. Krishna is telling, no doubt, what you say is true, but don't get disheartened, there is a way out. What is the way out? Abhyasa and Vairagya, the twofold approach. What is Abhyasa? Abhyasa is to practice. You have to go on doing the same technique, any technique that we have done again and again. What is Vairagya? Vairagya is a knowledge-based renunciation. Mastery over the senses. Raga is attachment. And Vairagya is the renunciation. Renunciation of the attachment. That's important. It is not renunciation of the karma itself. That's important. So, how do we do that? Anusandhana. Anusandhana is a process by which you can build the features of dharana, dhyana and samadhi. So set yourself into a new lifestyle. People coming from all over the world, your lifestyle was different. But once you came here, you set yourself into a new lifestyle. A lifestyle of yoga. Getting up early in the morning, 4:30. Then coming for the prayer, 5 o'clock, meditation, have the complete daily routine from 5 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Whatever may be the difficulties and problems you face, you go on coming and doing it again and again. Your entire system gets rooted into a new lifestyle which is very congenial for gaining mastery over the mind. Why have you set this timetable? Getting early in the morning and going to bed early in the night? Because that's our natural biorhythm of the body. So you are setting yourself back to the biorhythm of the body. And as a result, there is going to be control and mastery becomes easier. That yoga of living should become our own. Once you come out of it, again you should not go back to your other lifestyle of sleeping late, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, getting up morning 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Completely change your habit. Sleep at 10 o'clock, 10:30. Get up early in the morning. Then you will find a big change that's going to happen. All our tensions and stresses will start reducing. Well, then he talks about advanced Raja Yoga. After Samadhi, the end of something high. Atmo Pambena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Yorjuna Sukham va yadi va dukkham Sayogi paramo mataha. What are those qualities? Equanimity and balance. These are the two essential things that start coming out. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Sukham va yadi va dukkham. Sayogi samaha sarvatra. Paramo mataha is the main thing. Atmopammeya sarvatra. Samam yaha pashyati. Arjuna, the advanced Raja Yogi after the Samadhi, once the mind opens up, once it gets expanded, you start seeing the same divinity in everyone. You start seeing God in each and every person. Whether it is the worst of a person or the most saintly person. In all these people he can see the blossoming of the divinity. He starts seeing the God in everyone. And therefore he is sama. He becomes very well balanced. So that is the concept of universal love, which Swami Vivekananda told us. Unattached love. Normally what happens? Ours is all attached love. We love only one person, not all others. But we must expand. We must see that day by day, we are able to love more and more people. More and more people. To an extent that we should be able to love even our enemies, the so-called enemies. And the question of enemyhood itself will go there. Universal brotherhood. That is a state of expanded consciousness, level of consciousness. And when Swami Vivekananda was addressing the Parliament of Religions, you know the famous words he told, brothers and sisters of America. And all others were telling, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we were telling. But here, a totally new word. In this, he gave the whole essence of the whole Yoga Shastra, of the spiritual realm, of the grand culture of India. When he said that, he was not just making an emotional appeal to people. He was bringing the whole wisdom base of our country. Basically, we are all one. We are all born out of the Anandamaya Kosha. Basically, we are all bliss. And in that state, we are all one. But then when we come, we are becoming different and different and different. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda is trying to bring out the fact that please don't forget that we are all one. We are all born of the same source, Anandamaya Kosha. We are born and therefore we are all really brothers and sisters. But we have forgotten our origin, our creation. Therefore we think we are different. That is the grand concept of universal brotherhood Swami Vivekananda gave on this 12th, that is the September 11th. He gave his wonderful message in 1893. Now 9/11 has become very famous. But before that, September 11th was famous for Swami Vivekananda's Universal Brotherhood speech in Parliament of Religion. But later on, you know what a 9/11 is famous for, WTC. So, when the samatva starts coming, then you start rising to the higher levels of samadhi. You start going still higher and higher and higher. What are those samadhis? What are those superconscious state? Gives. Sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahyamatīndriyam vetti yatra na caivāyam sthitascalati tattvataha atyantikam sukham. It is an unparalleled bliss. The sukha, the ananda, the bliss starts increasing more and more, more and more, more and more as we go to the higher and higher stages of samadhi. And buddhigrahyam, atindriyam, it is beyond the sense pressures, but that is grasped by the buddhi, by the higher state of mind. And when he starts getting into this higher state, he will stand like a solid drop. Sthitaha chalati tattvata. He gets established in the tattva, in the full dimension. So Patanjali gives the methodology to go beyond the samadhis. And that he calls as Sanyama. What is Sanyama? Trayam ekatra Sanyamaha. Sanyama is a special technique in which you combine the three: dharana, dhyana, samadhi. When you combine the dharana, dhyana, samadhi, that becomes what we call Sanyama. Samyama is an advanced technique. And what is that process? It is the triplet process in which you focus the mind, then defocus the mind, and jump into higher level of consciousness. And this is the trifold process of Sanyama. And for that, you must know how to get into the samadhi through the dharana and dhyana. Only when you start getting perfection towards the dharana, dhyana, samadhi, you can think of Sanyama. What the result of that? It takes you from one level of samadhi to a higher level of samadhi. Sanyama is a very subtle tool to go to the higher states of samadhi. And higher samadhis bring greater powers and equanimity. More and more, samatva, equanimity. Under any circumstances, you will not change, it will be the same. Wonderfully it happens. So what are the various samadhis? 8 different samadhis have been talked about by Patanjali. Vichara, Vitarka, Ananda, Aspita, Anugamat, Sampragnataha, Tadanyaha, Asampragnataha. So, Vichara, Vitarka, Ananda, Aspita. 4 types of samadhi. In each one of them there are 2. One is the Sampragnata and another is the Asampragnata. Savichara. Vicharanugata Sampragnata Samadhi, Vicharanugata Asampragnata Samadhi. Vitarkanugata Sampragnata Samadhi, Vitarkanugata Asampragnata Samadhi. Anandanugata Sampragnata Samadhi, Anandanugata Asampragnata Samadhi. Aspitanugata Sampragnata Samadhi and Aspitanugata Asampragnata Samadhi. Like that, 8 different samadhis have been talked about by Patanjali. And one has to raise from one to the next, one to the next, one to the next, like this. And in this process, you start going deeper and deeper. And what is the ultimate thing? That's called Kaivalya. When you pass through all these 8 different samadhis, which are called the Sabija Samadhi, that means still there is a bija, there is a seed form of our samskaras. Even that is burnt up, then you go to the Kaivalya. That is the last phase that is talked. So practice of equanimity in states of misery and happiness leads to the mastery over all senses and emotions. Fear, greed, anger, miserliness, everything will start getting burnt up. All the inner samskaras and vasana that we have collected over centuries and centuries, over lives and lives, all will start getting cleansed. It's a very deep cleansing process that takes place. Sakashayam vijaniyat, as is said in Mandukya Karika, that kashaya which is there, has to be removed. You have to go deeper and deeper. How do you do that? Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma sansparsham atyantam sukhamashnute. Evam yunjan. Practicing yoga in this way, through the sayama, through the process of what are called parinamas, you are started moving from one level to another level, one to another level. When sada, all the time the yogi is involved in this process of subtle transformation inside. Yogi vigata kalmashaha bhavati. Then he becomes purified, he becomes transparent. Kalmasha, or the dirt and the mala, the avidya, the ajnana, will all start vanishing. Vigataha. Gata means gone. Vigataha means visheshana gataha. All the kalmashas will start leaving his body, going out. The dirt is going to come out. And in all practices, when you start going deeper and deeper, all this work is going to come out. Then we have different experiences. And that is the process of cleansing. Then as the dirt starts going, then you start perceiving and percepting the Brahma Samsparsham. You start becoming nearer to your source and you start touching the Brahman. You start touching the Atmasthiti. You start touching the state of immense peace, immense silence and total knowledge and bliss. What is the result of that? Atyantam sukham ashnute. Infinite amount of ananda you start getting. That is the result of that. Higher samadhi is called for deeper purification. When you have to go, you should become more and more selfish. And all your sattva qualities will blossom more and more. There's tremendous purification that takes place. When you do that, then you fathom the higher states of consciousness which are governed by the higher laws. And these higher laws are called as supernatural laws. They go beyond the Annamaya Koshas, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Anandamaya Koshas. And the 8 siddhis have been talked about profusely. And you start moving from one samadhi to higher samadhi, you start getting these powers. What are those powers? Prapti, Prakamya, Vashitva, Laghima, Garima, Mahima, Adima, and Ishitva. First, you start getting the powers at the mental level. What are the things? Prapti and Prakamya. Prapti means whatever you are working for, you get the result without pain. Prapti. You are now working, you want to get the highest marks, you want 98% marks. And you are working towards it. The result will become a natural and obvious consequence of your effort. Effort will not go waste. Whereas in the lower level, when you are working, you will get the result, you will not get the result. Whereas at this level, the result is bound to come. Prapti. Prakamya. Whatever you desire automatically starts happening. That you want, that all people should start gaining better and better health. People will start getting that. That is the Prakamya. Then Vashitva. That is at the intellectual level. You are able to control others. Like a hypnotizer trying to use hypnotism. And when he uses hypnotism in the wrong way, it is the black magic. If he uses in the right way to heal others, it is a great job. He becomes sattvic. So here, Vashitva is a capacity to gain control over the mind of others. Like mesmerism, hypnotism. That is Vashitva. Then you start gaining control and mastery over the body itself. What is the control? Your body will start becoming very light, Laghima. So light that you will be able to go up like a flower. Garima. Garima is, it starts becoming very heavy. Very light or very heavy. Nobody can even move your finger. The great example of Hanuman. Bhima thought that here is a monkey sitting in the forest and he says, hey, please move your tail. With all the ego that Bhima had. Then Hanuman was lying there, see, I have become very old, I cannot move my tail, please move this a little bit and go if you want. You know? Then Bhima, with all his valor and inner arrogance, he tried just to push this and nothing happens. The tail is very much there. Then with all the force of the leg, he tries to do that, nothing moves, even a millimeter. Then he says, there is something peculiar here. Comes down with the hand, with fullest of the force, he tried to move the tail. Not even a millimeter, he could not move. Bhima was an embodiment of strength. His strength was measured as having something like 1,000 elephants strong he was. But here he could not move his tail, or his ego and arrogance comes down. Then he does namaskar. Who are you? Please tell me. Then Hanuman gives the dakshina. That's called the Garima. Garima is heavy. And he had that power to move high, Mahima and Anima. He was able to become very small, like a mosquito. Or he will become huge like a mountain. All those things when he was crossing the ocean of Lanka, seen that. Anima, Mahima. And finally, Ishitva. Ishitva is complete lordship. These are the 8 siddhis that have been talked about, and Patanjali gives systematic way and methodology to get these Ashtasiddhis. But he also cautions, be very careful, this may lure you and it may again deteriorate you. Be careful, he says. Therefore, one has to be very, very careful, and when you get these higher powers, you should understand that's a process of purification, and you must exercise renunciation there, not get attached to that. And that's the trick Patanjali says. Then he comes to the last phase at the time of death, that we will see tomorrow. The sit straight, the eyes closed. Relax all parts of the body. Take a deep breath and slowly breathe out. Let us look at the mind. Thoughts are coming and thoughts are going. Different thoughts are coming in the mind. Choose one thought. Your Ishta Devata, and allow the mind to stay in that single thought effortlessly. Go on repeating that Ishtadevata mantra if you are given. Otherwise, go on repeating the Om in the mind. Each time we repeat the Om, the whole body vibrates, resonates. Start tuning yourself to that infinite, wonderful qualities and the presence of the God, or the Omkara, representing the ultimate reality. The state of absolute silence, peace and inner bliss. Let us allow all our inner ignorance to vanish. Let all the samskaras, wrong samskaras to vanish, all good samskaras to come up. Experiencing the bliss inside. You start spreading that blissful presence throughout the day to everyone whom we meet today. Namaskar mantra.